Big heat, rain, and storms, along with the threat for severe weather. When you'll need to move your plans indoors this weekend.
President Biden speaks in Raleigh less than 24 hours after his debate against former President Trump. What his supporters are saying about his speech.
A mother and her boyfriend are charged with child abuse after a 3-year-old little boy was found unresponsive in their Dunn apartment. We'll have the latest on this investigation.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Thanks for being with us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty. We are starting with this breaking news. A car fire on I-40 East. This is between Durham and Chapel Hill, and it's right during the Friday evening commute. Look at the images there. What a mess. The flames are now out, but as you can see, the backups remain, and they stretch for miles. It happened near mile marker 269, and Sky 5 was over that scene. The car has since been put out. It's off to the shoulder of the highway. It is unclear if anybody was hurt in this. We will continue, of course, to follow this story and have some updates for you tonight on our late news. We are also tracking more dangerous heat for your weekend and some new activity in the tropics. Tomorrow will likely be under a heat advisory across our area with a heat index of at least 110 degrees. Hot. Also, a tropical depression, 2 of them formed in the last 2 hours. Meteorologist Mike Mays has been paying attention to all of it for us. Mike, give us the details.
Yeah, we have 3 systems we're tracking in the tropics tonight, Dan. One is a tropical depression, and you see it here. There's Barbados, the islands, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. It is moving west at 24 miles per hour. Top winds are at 30. Perhaps by 11 o'clock tonight on WRAL, it would become Beryl. If not, it would be overnight and toward daybreak tomorrow. Likely to become the first hurricane of the season, 2 a.m. Monday morning, 85 mile per hour winds, moving into the Caribbean. As of right now, passing south of Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Martin, all the northern islands there. And then by Wednesday afternoon, top winds are at 90, making its way toward Jamaica. We'll watch this closely, but it's not showing any signs of heading toward us. Another big heat weekend, 97 at least in Raleigh tomorrow. A heat advisory will be issued at some point. Feels like 110 for the day tomorrow. Sunday, storms are likely. In fact, there's a really good shot that we'll see them. We'll talk momentarily about that, but the heat index tomorrow, 96 at lunchtime, 107 at 2 o'clock, perhaps peaking at 110 with just a 20% chance for a shower or storm. Rain chances really go up on Sunday. There's a cold front coming in, 60% chance, 50 at night, 50 on Monday. That front could produce severe weather, and Dan, I'll highlight that coming up in less than 15 minutes.
Got it. Talk to you then. Thank you. Today, President Biden was in Raleigh for his first public appearance since last night's debate. Biden spent much of the time reassuring supporters that he's up to the job. Trump also hitting the campaign trail today, speaking at a rally in Virginia. Trump has been criticized for his accuracy at last night's debate. Biden for his performance. WRAL's Monica Casey takes us inside today's rally at the State Fairgrounds.
President Biden emphasized the importance of North Carolina to winning this nationwide election, but his performance at today's rally was also important after a shaky debate last night.
Do you feel more confident after seeing him today?
Yes, 100%. I think yesterday I was I was confident for Biden, but I was kind of like, okay, we need to do something to step it up. And I feel like today he brought it all the way home.
President Biden's energy and candor about his age at today's rally reassured many supporters.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Adrian Payne came from Winston-Salem to see President Biden. He says the debate is in the past.
He had a rocky start, but let's be honest here, though. If it comes down to the guy who stuttered versus the guy who sat there and lies the entire debate, I'll take the guy who stutters any day over the guy who lies the entire debate.
Lewisburg resident Jesse Goslin believes Biden's performance was still better than former President Trump's.
I don't think Trump told the truth one time the whole night. They need to reverse fact check him. Did he tell the truth? Otherwise, everything was just a lie.
In Raleigh, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Now, if you watched the speech today, you may have noticed there were a handful of disruptions that happened during President Biden's 20-minute speech inside the Jim Graham building. Protesters tried to shout out over him several times, and during those interruptions, you can hear the crowd then chant over them 4 more years and USA to drown out those protests. Eventually, authorities escorted, as you can see from the video, those protesters out of the building. Former President Trump spent his afternoon in Chesapeake, Virginia. Crowds there of people lining up at a farm to listen to him speak for the first time. He was speaking since the debate last night. He told the crowd that he believed he won the debate and then criticized President Biden's performance.
He got the debate rules that he wanted. He got the date that he wanted. He got the network that he wanted. With the moderates he wanted. No amount of rest or rigging could help him defend his atrocious record.
A second debate is set for September. And in just a moment, we're going to take a closer look at some of the reactions from last night's debate. A 3-year-old boy is dead, and his mother is in jail, as well as the mother's boyfriend, facing charges in Harnett County tonight. The little boy, named Marcos, also known as OJ. Dunn police found the 3-year-old on the floor of a home on Ponderosa Drive, bruised and unresponsive. His mother, 33-year-old Sierra Privet, and her boyfriend, 24-year-old Michael Wynn, are charged now with child abuse. Marco's grandmother believed that there were signs of abuse that could have prevented his death. She says her grandson was full of life.
He just wanted to be a boy. He loved the water. He loved to just run. He explored.
The police department is planning a vigil to honor the boy. Both the mother and boyfriend are in jail under $1 million bond. The state is now investigating allegations of abuse against a former Wake County teacher. WRAL has been investigating claims that James Rencher abused students with special needs at East Wake High School back in 2022. After our reporting, law enforcement got involved and charged Rencher with 12 counts of assault today.
The Wake County District Attorney's Office look into whether or not the principal properly reported this?
Yes. And at this time, no additional charges have been brought. Our responsibility is to hold people accountable when they have committed a crime. There are other avenues by which people may take action to try and hold people accountable who may have dropped the ball, didn't do what they were supposed to in terms of their job responsibilities.
The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction says they are now investigating the situation as well. And at last check, Rencher was still in jail under $150,000 bond. The crematorium of a well-known funeral home suffered heavy fire and water damage in Fayetteville. Rogers and Brees Funeral Home has been serving the community for more than 125 years there. WRAL's Gilbert Bays talked with the owners about the plans for the future.
Well, Rogers and Brees Funeral Home has been in this community forever. That's the main building over there. But the thing that caught fire was the crematorium here across the street.
For 4 generations, Rogers and Brees Funeral Home has provided comfort to families in this community during their emotional time of need. J.M. Rogers started the business in 1898. Last night, just before 9, the crematorium went up in flames in a matter of minutes. David Brees watched firefighters knock down the flames.
Naturally, they don't let us close by, but we just are at the mercy of their work. We have to stand back and watch what happens, and it's tough to see your property up in flames.
Firefighters were able to get the flames under control, but not before it did significant damage to the roof.
So as you can see from the drone footage, the roof is destroyed. But let me show you something. If you come inside, you can see that the ceiling is made of metal. And the owners of the building say that's a good thing.
The fire was high in the roof. It wasn't down below. We had probably about $500,000 worth of hearses, limousines, and a couple of them were brand new. Luckily, we had 0 damage to those.
And we're told no one was hurt. The family plans to rebuild the crematorium, and they appreciate the love and support this community is showing during their emotional time of need.
That means the world to me and to the family because people do care, and there's so many good people here in Fayetteville and Cumberland County.
In Fayetteville, Gilbert Bays, WRAL News.
And the family says that other funeral homes in town have been reaching out to help them as they can make those repairs to the crematorium. Wake County Animal Center is in a bit of a crisis mode right now after reaching full capacity yet again. Staff there actually taking in 140 animals in just the last 3 days, and they are almost completely out of space. That means soon they would have to start euthanizing animals to make more room. The shelter is asking for the community to help in the form of adopting a pet. The center is waiving all adoption fees for dogs, cats, and small animals from today through next Sunday. Still ahead, a bit of a shocking sight right off of our coasts. Viewers showing some video of sharks swimming in very shallow water. We're going to explain where this was spotted coming up. Plus, another local athlete heading to the Paris Olympics. We got those details next. Some breaking news just into our newsroom. ESPN college basketball analyst Dick Vitale announcing that he will undergo surgery to remove cancer from his neck. In a post on X, Vitale said a biopsy of lymph nodes in his neck showed cancer. Surgery is scheduled now for next Tuesday. Back in 2021, Vitale was diagnosed with lymphoma, and several months later, he had surgery to remove melanoma. He is 85 years old. A major ruling from the Supreme Court today could give some people convicted in the January 6th riots another day in court. The High Court ruled federal prosecutors went too far by bringing obstruction charges against hundreds of the rioters. Prosecutors may now have to reopen those cases. More than 350 people were charged for obstructing or impeding an official proceeding, including some North Carolinians. The vote was 6-3, with one liberal justice joining the conservatives and one conservative joining the liberals. So all day we have been talking about people's reaction to President Biden's performance in the debate last night. It's turned into kind of the elephant in the room, or more accurately, the donkey in the room. The Democrats, their reaction to Biden's performance at the debate last night, which did start with utter panic this morning. These were some of the headlines today from NBC. Some Democrats start calling for Biden to step aside. In the New York Times, a prominent columnist who supported Biden in 2020 and Clinton in 2016 published an opinion this morning titled, "Joe Biden is a good man and a good president. He must now bow out of the race." So, look, it's no secret that Biden's age and mental acuity have been a big focus of his reelection. Any flub or awkward moment that we've seen has been cringe-inducing for the left and easily weaponized by the right. And last night, there was plenty of ammo, 90 minutes peppered with cringy moments, so much so that Politico wrote, "Democrats really have no way to spin this," which is probably why so many have kept quiet. Josh Stein, for instance, and Governor Roy Cooper didn't even try today in Raleigh. They both took the stage at the campaign event. Neither of them mentioned the debate. Though shortly after the event ended today in Raleigh, former President Barack Obama posted this on Twitter, or on X. Said, quote, "Bad debate nights happen. Trust me, I know. But this election is still a choice between someone who has fought for ordinary folks his entire life and someone who only cares about himself. Last night didn't change that," which does sound kind of spin-ish. I mean, definitely dismissive to some of the people who found it concerning. Here is how Biden put it during his speech today.
I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job.
Now, it's fair to say, and even in the clip we just showed, the president seemed much sharper and more energetic today in Raleigh than he did at the debate last night. That said, today he did have a teleprompter, a speech he's given 1,000 times in a room full of his supporters. Not exactly apples to apples to what we will see in a debate. It also seems like potentially the plan now is to just brush off concerns and push full steam ahead like it never happened. That said, this was the earliest debate in U.S. history, which means there's a long race ahead and plenty of time for swing voters, like so many here in North Carolina, to decide the difference between a bad debate night and something more serious. If you missed last night's debate, you can find a full breakdown of everything that happened right now on WRAL.com. That includes a fact check of each of the candidates' statements. Trust me, you should go take a look at those from our partners at PolitiFact. Some new video now at 7 o'clock. It shows several sharks swimming in shallow water off of our coast. This was captured along East Beach on Bald Head Island. So you can see at least two sharks swimming right before the wave breaks. You know, look, I was a little stunned by this. Some people, some big fans of Shark Week in the room were telling me it's not that rare, okay, to see these things a little closer to shore. I prefer them a little further out, Mike.
I love sharks. I've always wanted to be at the shore watching sharks swim by like that. I mean, I guess that's the kid in me, because when I was a kid, I just loved sharks and still do as an adult, as long as I'm not in the water when they're coming on by. So I find that video pretty cool. But be safe as you head to the coast this weekend. Rip current threat today was on the low side on our eastern facing beaches up toward Atlantic Beach and Emerald Isle. It was a moderate threat. We have seen some showers across the area. These actually started in Onslow County. I've been tracking them since 4 o'clock when they moved through Duplin County, Sampson County, Cumberland County, now making their way into Hope County. I don't think they'll make their way up here into Wake County or Harnett County. They'll continue to head off to the west and gradually dissipate. And the same will probably happen again tomorrow afternoon, but Sunday should be a different story. We're going to talk more about that coming up. So let's talk about our live cam network. Speaking of the beaches, there's Carolina Beach. They had low rip current threat today, probably the same tomorrow. Chapel Hill, quite a bit of cloud cover. Apex looking pretty good. Franklinton, you guys have your Independence Day celebration coming up later on tomorrow afternoon, starting at 5 o'clock at the football field. That's Franklinton Middle School. At 9 o'clock, the fireworks go off. Tonight at 10 and 11 on Fox 50 and WRAL. I'll show you how the front of the school there is lit up with red, white, and blue. I've seen pictures of it. It's pretty cool. Check it out tonight at 10 on Fox 50 and 11 on WRAL. 91 right now at RDU after our 97 today. Feeling like 91 right now. Feeling like 90 in Fayetteville. It's only 83 though. Those heat index values are going to be way up over the weekend. And here comes our next cold front on Sunday. Now, drop the chance for rain tomorrow only to 20%. So if you have outdoor plans, I don't think you have to worry about getting wet. Sunday, the entire state is under a level 1 threat for severe weather due to this front. And it's quite possible that level 2 threat could get extended farther south. If that's the case, we might have a severe thunderstorm watch. Everybody, Anthony, Brian Schrader, Amy will be talking about any changes coming up in the weekend forecast tomorrow and Sunday. Sunday on Futurecast at lunchtime, a small chance for a shower or storm. There's 2 o'clock. Watch how things blossom. Now, the past few events we've had, everything blossomed to the east and missed us. I don't think that's going to be the case this time. We see these scattered showers and storms at 5 o'clock. Some of the rainfall could be heavy. We're actually under a low-end threat for flooding, so some of these could move slowly, dumping some very heavy rainfall. And it will be raining, it looks like, in farm country, but for some folks, it's too late for the corn crop and maybe other crops to come back to life. And then we have more rain coming Sunday night and the first part of the day on Monday. 70s the lows tonight. It'll be mostly clear, and then a hot one tomorrow. 20% chance for a shower or a storm. Into the weekend, it's hot. 97 for the day tomorrow, 95 on Sunday. Monday, we're back into the 80s. 87 for us here in the Triangle. Tuesday, low humidity, not hot, 88. That's below the normal high of 90. And then sizzling on Thursday, Independence Day, and Friday, our highs in the upper 90s, maybe 100 for the high again.
Oh boy, heating back up again. Mike, thank you. Still ahead, it just got a little easier for North Carolina businesses to decrease their carbon footprint. We're going to show you how a new program works. The legislature just advanced a new financing program that aims to make clean energy upgrades more accessible. It's called the Commercial Property Assessed Cleaning Energy Financing. I mean, it's not very catchy, so they call it CPACE instead, which is a little easier. It allows businesses to borrow money for upgrades and pay it back over time through a small increase in property taxes. Those upgrades could include solar panels or efficient cooling systems or LED lighting.
This is really going to help accelerate options for commercial customers who have been very, very hungry for opportunities to deploy more clean energy on site, especially in North Carolina, where we've seen pretty significant rate increases.
Now, we should mention State Treasurer Dale Folwell has strongly opposed efforts to introduce the state CPACE program. He believes that it's predatory lending. Raleigh native and Wakefield High School graduate Veronica Fraley is on her way to Paris for the Olympic Games. Fraley qualified for Team USA in the discus last night. Watch this discus fly. This was the track and field trials out in Oregon. I mean, I don't think I could throw a frisbee that far. So this is the first time that she is going to the Olympics. Veronica made the trials in 2021, but she didn't make the Olympic team. But here she is representing our country in Paris in the discus. She's also going to try for the shot put event, I believe, tonight. But congratulations to her and her family. Amazing. So remember, WRAL is your home for everything Olympics. Coverage starting July 26th with exclusive reports from our own Liz McLaughlin, who's making the trip out there to Paris. Next week, Morrisville will be the center of the cricket world. It's one of 2 towns nationwide hosting this season of Major League Cricket. Some video from when the competition came to town last year. They're going to be at the Church Street Park from July 5th through the 17th. The competition will mean the typical amenities out there at the park will not be available until the 22nd, but there's going to be some world-class cricket being played. A Durham woman is connecting church and the LGBTQ community through music, and she's not stopping even though Pride Month is coming to a close. Earlier this month, we showed you a viral video of Hot to Go, which is a song by Chappelle Roan. It was being played on the chapel bells at Duke Memorial United Methodist Church. Caitlin McDonald is a member and volunteer bell ringer at the church. She also came out as transgender back in 2021. She says she's gotten hundreds of messages from people who haven't felt welcome in church. Some have even come to service after this at Duke Memorial UMC.
I think if somebody watches these videos and has a takeaway, it's, I think, primarily that they are loved. And I think what it says to me is that there are a lot of LGBTQ folks in this country and outside of this country who are ready to engage or re-engage with religion, faith, spirituality, if given the chance and given a safe place to do so.
Since WRAL spoke with her, Caitlin McDonald actually got to see Chappelle Roan live here in Raleigh. The singer's team got her into the show. You can listen to more of this conversation on the WRAL Daily Download podcast. On Sunday, you can check out a Pride event in downtown Cary. Pride in the Park is open to the public. It includes family-friendly activities, including lawn games, arts and crafts, friendship, bracelet making, bubbles, and temporary tattoos. It's from noon until 4 p.m. We appreciate you being with us here tonight on WRAL News. We're going to have our next newscast on Fox 50 at 10 o'clock and again at 11 back here on WRAL. Quite a look from Fayetteville. Have a great night.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.